Well, good morning. Good morning. Welcome to the Salt Lake Center for Spiritual Living. Thank you for being here on this hot week, huh? We're going to make it a little warm in here with some really great music and a very fine message from our dear Rabbi Alan Bachman today. Happy Father's Day. Happy Juneteenth. I celebrate the masculine today and freedom. Isn't it awesome? It's so awesome. So we're going to open up our service today by singing together, Jump Into Your Life. Are you ready? I know it's hot and sweaty, but do it anyway. Sing along. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
And welcome to church, those of you who made it on time. Did you know that Third West is under construction? All the way across town. Oi, hi, everybody. It's good to see everybody in T-shirts. Happy Father's Day. So happy that you're all here. My name is Rob Ekman, the perennially late, and I am your service host. We are so happy that you joined us. We are a spiritual community where all are welcome to be part of our live celebration here in person, as well as our virtual love streaming community. Our practitioner holding high watch today is Farrell Zeman. Throughout the service, he will be in prayer, knowing the best and highest good is unfolding for us as we share this sacred time together. And our prayer practitioner and my pinch hitter is Jim Ferris. Our center is a spiritual community that teaches a philosophy for daily living based on spiritual principles and practices that are universal among religions. We honor all pathways by which people seek to know and to connect with the divine, and we work on our individual consciousness so that we can make the world a better place. Wherever you are, I invite you to recommit yourself to our center's spiritual purpose by saying our spiritual purpose statement with me. We are an open, welcoming community, celebrating our divinity, loving our humanity, and nurturing our journey of spiritual discovery. Thank you. For all the latest information on what's happening with the center, please visit our website at www.spirituallyfree.org.
So we have lots of kind of weird T-shirts in the audience. And we said we were going to have a parade, but you know what sounds fun to me? is if we just spend a couple of minutes, like we used to getting, can't do hugs and stuff like that quite yet, but we could get up and look at each other's T-shirts while Rick sings us a song. Just spend a couple of minutes laughing and loving each other. How's that sound?
I love myself so much, so I can love you so much, so you can love you so much, then you can start loving me. I love myself so much,
I love you.
so you can love you so much,
You love me.
so you can love you so much,
Love you.
and you can start loving me. Yeah, I love myself so much,
I love you.
so I can love you so much,
You love you.
so you can love you so much,
You love you.
so you can start loving me. Yeah, I love myself so much, so I can love you so much, and you can love you so much, then you can start loving me. I love myself so much, so I can love you so much,
So much.
so you can love you so much,
So much.
so you can start loving me. Yeah, I love myself so much,
I love you.
so I can love you so much,
You love you.
so you can love you so much,
You love you.
I can start loving
you.
Yeah, I love myself so much, so I can love you so much,
So much.
so you can love you so much,
So much.
then you can start loving me. I love myself so much, so I can love you so much, so you can love you so much, then you can start loving me. I love myself so much,
I love me.
so I can love you so much,
I love you.
so you can love you so much,
You love you.
so you can start loving me, so you can start loving me.
Yay! Yes, happy Father's Day. We all have a dad. If we're not one, we have one. So happy Father's Day to everyone. All right, on with our announcements. Now, many of you know our dear friend Lorraine Horstmanhoff, our superbly musically talented friend who has played during many services here for us on so many different instruments I can't even recall. Well, Lorraine has been diagnosed with stage 4 cancer. And because treatment is expensive and we want her to know our love and our support, we are going to host a musical fundraiser for her next Sunday here in the sanctuary at 3 p.m. There's a donation of at least $25, which is encouraged, and there will be a great lineup of musicians to support and celebrate Lorraine. And we hope that you can make it to join us. Our center celebrates 50 years as a charter church with Centers for Spiritual Living, and we're planning an outdoor party on Saturday, the 28th of August. We have plenty of room for helpers on committees, so please contact me if you're interested in being a part of the fun. We're going to have a planning meeting that will be announced this week. We are asking you, our membership, to please help us spread the word about the celebration by recalling and reaching out to those friends who have been part of our community in the past, but may have strayed or fallen away for various reasons. We will be creating a digital invitation to share in the few weeks via our website, so please stay tuned. This Tuesday is the deadline to register for a 4-week Zoom class based on the first 4 chapters of the Science of Mind textbook, covering the topics: the thing itself, the way it works, what it does, and how to use it. The 4-week class will be conducted by our dear sweet friend, Reverend Lynn Heigster, fabulous teacher. I recommend joining her there. And we can register for the class via text to give or through our website. We are very excited to announce and welcome our first candidate for senior minister, Reverend John Auden. Reverend John Auden. He and his wife, Joan, will be with us for the whole weekend of July 17th and 18th. There will be a social on Saturday afternoon so that everyone can meet them. Sunday, Reverend John will speak at our service, followed by a workshop and a Q&A session where we can get to know them better. So please mark your calendars now. That will be on July 17th and 18th. All right. Our center is founded on and grounded in prayer, which helps us deal with whatever comes our way. Our professional prayer practitioners are trained in the art and science of affirmative prayer and are ready to pray for and with you. Online, you can click on the link on our homepage and send the practitioners a request and know that the practitioners will be in prayer for you and lift you up in prayer all week. If you'd like to connect personally, let them know, and a practitioner can give you a call and pray with you in person so that you can be an active part of that experience. Now, I invite you to please settle in and allow Jim's reading and the centering music to take you to the sacred space within, and Jim will lead us in prayer.
So this reading was taken from Ernest Holmes' book, 365, Science of Mind. May our minds be so open to the infinite abundance of love and beauty, passion, compassion and goodness, kindness and sincerity, that it flows around the world, bringing back, as it must, the joy that is God. Let our song be full, and all burdens fall away as we face the sun. Let us silence all fear, all doubt, all pain, and identify ourselves with the living Spirit. Let us commune with that presence and use that power in the beauty and quiet of this moment. Breathe into us, eternal Spirit, everything that stands for beauty, everything that is meant by the artistry of life and the certainty of love and friendship. Infuse our souls now with your Spirit. Infinite God within and all around, we feel your presence in our soul. There is one life, and that is God. There is one perfect presence, which is good. Let us turn to that divine and radiant center of life, the light that lights every person's path, and consciously unify ourselves with the great love, wisdom, and power of the Eternal One.
In this moment, in this place, I remember who I am, letting fear and worry fall away from me. I open my eyes and see there is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets me free. There is only love. When I lose myself, when it seems I've lost my way, when I go inside and quiet my mind, I can hear Spirit gently say, there is only of love. It is singing through my life. It is all I am, every part of me. It's all that I choose to be. There is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets me free. There is only love. There is only love.
Stilling all of our thoughts, finding that space within where I gather my life force and thank my lucky stars for the life that was given to all, each and every one. In this space of feeling oneness with the divine, I feel an inner knowing of truth that I am a part of that, and that is a part of me. And I see that in each person I meet, I speak with, and honor them as an individuation of the divine. As we come together today to celebrate this life through music, smiles, and prayer, I know together we are open and willing to understand and feel the presence within the message, the truth that always is, living in each person. I'm so grateful for our band, the beautiful music, and the feeling it imparts of oneness to each person here. I release these words into the law of love and life and know full well that it is already done. As together we say, and so it is.
Thank you, Jim. I invite you to sing with us this beautiful vision. You know, just because there's disagreement doesn't mean there has to be contention or divisiveness. It's wonderful that we are free to express the divine that flows through us and express that into the world. It may push people's buttons from time to time, but again, that doesn't mean we have to fear it or dehumanize that person because of their point of view or beliefs. This song speaks of a vision one day, no more wars, and the children will play. Let's sing together. 1, 2, 3.
Here we go.
Sometimes I lay under the moon and I thank God I'm breathing. Then I pray, don't take me soon, 'cause I am here for a reason. Sometimes in my tears I drown, but I never negativity surrounds, I know someday it'll all turn around, because all my life I've been waiting for, I've been praying for the people to say that we don't want to fight no more. There'll be no more wars, and our children will play one day, one day, one day. Oh, one day, one day, one day. It's not about win or lose, 'cause we all lose when they feed on the souls of the innocent. Blood-drenched pavement, keep on moving though the waters stay raging. And in this maze you may lose your way, your way. Well, it might drive you crazy, but don't let it phase you, no way, no way. Sometimes in my tears I drown, but I never let it get me down. So when negativity surrounds, I know someday it'll all turn around, because all my life I've been waiting for, I've been praying for the people to say that we don't want to fight no more. There'll be no more wars, and our children will play one day, one day, one day. Oh, one day, one day, one day. One day this all will change, see people the same. Stop with the violence, down with the hate. One day we'll all be free and proud to be under the same sun, singing songs of freedom like why-oh, 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 because all my life I've been waiting for, I've been praying for the people to say that we don't want to fight no more. There'll be no more wars, and our children will play one day, one day, one day. Oh, one day, one day, one day. One day, one day, one day. Singing, oh, one day, one day, one day.
Thank you. Well, it's my privilege to introduce our very special music today. Rabbi Alan Bachman and his wife Andalyn have been such dear friends to our center for longer than I've been associated with this center. I'm sure it's 25 years at least. Been supportive in sharing music and speaking, and so much community support as well. And their music is extraordinary. It's North African with a beat that just, you can't sit still. It's just marvelous. So I welcome and invite you to welcome Alan Bachman, Andalyn Bachman, and Desert Wind. Oh, I get to wear this hat too, it's cool.
Thank you all very much. We got Rick joining us today, as well as Brian, who's sitting next to Rajab, and Ricardo on drums. And this song we did, first time we played this out, Raj and I played this out, was at the Unity Church in 1988. And it was after I was really exposed to some of the philosophy of science of mind. So you'll see that in the words here, and it's going to relate to my talk later about, what is God's name? And in the Hebrew scriptures, when Moses first confronts God, so to speak, and they confront each other, Moses says, well, who should I say sent me? And God says, I am that I am. I am. And it's interesting that a lot of affirmations begin with that, I am, I am. So think about your internal I am during this song, which has the same name.
heart, vibrate the world. I am peace and love. I am the word. Direct from my heart, vibrate the world. The dove rests its wings, and for the tree it sings a divine melody sent forth to the world. The dove rests its wings, and for the tree it sings a divine melody sent forth to the world. I am peace and love. I am the word. Direct from my heart, vibrate the world. I am peace and love. I am the word. Direct from my heart, vibrate the world. Take it out, again. Drums, come on. If you feel like you need to move, even while you're sitting, it's okay. Sometimes if you want that love to flow from above, you have to dance for it. You got to move for it. You got to bring it in, bring it in. Bring it down. Come on, Ricardo, you can go nuts on that drum. I just know it. Yeah, go for it. Yeah. I am is the name. I am here to say. I am is the name of the divine one.
I am peace and love. I am the
Direct from my heart, vibrate the world.
I am peace and love. I am the word. Direct from my heart, vibrate the world. I wonder what the dolphins have to say about this.
Hear the dolphin sing. The dolphin hears me, uniting one and all. The seventh day of the world. Hear the dolphin sing.
the dolphin hears me, uniting one and all, the seventh day of the world. I am peace and love, I am the word. Direct from my heart, vibrate the world. I am peace and love, I am the word. Direct from my heart, vibrate the world. I am peace and love. I am the word.
Yeah, Desert Wind.
Alan Bachman and Desert Wind.
I am the word. Direct from my heart, vibrate the world.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's my great pleasure to introduce to you the man who has just entertained us. This has just been amazing. I am beautiful. Thank you so much. And it's my first opportunity to introduce Rabbi Alan to you. I know that he's spoken to us many times, but what a treat. I've been able to listen to his recordings that he's done for us, and the man speaks with such amazing conviction and depth of knowledge, for which I know I am incredibly grateful. So, everyone, if you will please join me in welcoming back to the stage Rabbi Alan Bachman.
Thank you very much. What a nice introduction. I have major surgery coming up on Tuesday, so I have to wear my mask at times just to make sure I don't get that rescheduled. But today is a special day. I thought it was a trifecta, but my daughter reminded me it's actually a quadfecta because it's her wedding anniversary tomorrow. And we had June 19th, we have the solstice, we have Father's Day. And with her wedding anniversary, wow, that's 4 things all just like boom, 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 boom. All happening at once, right? I'm sure there's many other things happening in this 3-day period that I'm probably not even mentioning. But the theme today is going to be Let My People Go. Let my people go. Because I'm going to focus on the freedom and June 19th, or Juneteenth, as it is called, commonly. So I'm going to speak a little bit in the tradition of Reverend Donald Graves. You all remember Reverend Donald Graves, right? The great thing about Reverend Donald Graves is you're always left with some real substance, and maybe even some homework. So it wasn't like, you just went to the center and it was all love and peace and kumbaya. Sometimes we got shook up. And when you look at the world today, we do need some shaking up. One thing we see in common in the various different faiths is this whole concept of being awakened, the Buddha, the awakening. What's really in many of the different faiths, this whole idea that we have to wake up, not just go through the motions, but actually think. And in science of mind, thinking is so important. And the irony is we have to think, actually, about what we're thinking. And so that's what we're going to do a little bit. We're actually going to think a little bit today. And sometimes that's comfortable and sometimes it isn't. But that's what's the beauty of science of the mind. Science of mind. And going here is it isn't always about being in your comfort zone. Sometimes it's about going to that edge, a little bit out of the comfort zone. But let's face it, we've all been through a pretty hard year or so. And so some comforting is important. So we have some balance there. So let my people go. Let's think about those words. Let my people go. And later we're going to play a video of Louis Armstrong singing Go Down Moses, something that's believed that Harriet Tubman even would sing as she would free slaves from plantations. And often they would even have reward notices out on trees with a price on her head because they were stealing property. They weren't stealing people. What an unusual concept. How did that happen? We're going to talk a little bit about that today. But that phrase in this, that Moses said, let my people go. Let. What does let mean? It really means, hopefully, somebody, darn it, would out of their own free will just let it happen. This is important. Think about it. You know, you're enslaved, whether you're a Hebrew slave, a black slave, a slave of any form. Who is the my? It's God. It's God's people. If you're part of God's people, that gives you something inside that says, I shouldn't be a slave to somebody else because of the word my. And then people. You're people. You're not chattels. You're not property. That is important too. That's an important concept, that we don't think of ourselves as property. Then go to be free. That's where we really get into science of mind. Because is there really, really freedom? The irony is that we really can't be free without the laws of the universe and without certain rules. As an example, you go and you want to go to Portland, Oregon, or you want to go to Seattle, whatever. You say, I'm going to take the train. So you go to the train, okay, and the person there says, okay, it's $200 for your ticket to go to Portland. Well, that's great. And then the person says, I got to caution you, though, there are no train tracks that we'll be using. We'll just go on the train because we want you to experience total freedom. Okay, I suggest you don't go on that train. It's the wrong train. Worse, you say, well, I'll just fly to Portland. So you buy your ticket for your flight and you get there, you're ready to board, and the person says, do you mind if we turn off the guidance system for this airplane so you can enjoy this flight in total freedom? Now, I think that's also a really bad idea. So this word Torah that Jews use, they use it to describe the 5 books of Moses. But when you get deep into Judaism, it's also used individually. What is your Torah? Well, Torah is your guidance system. What is your Torah? The guidance system. Where does the word come from? I think I spoke about it before here. It comes from the word Yarah. What is Yarah? Well, in the ancient days, we had this arrow. How does an arrow hit its target? One of the things it has is these little back feathers, just like those little fins at the back of the airplane. In fact, if you don't see them, you might want a different plane. Okay, because those little fins, they help guide it to hit the target. Okay, that's part of the guidance system. So everybody has this guidance system. In science of mind, you might call it the laws of the universe. So we need these laws of the universe in order to have the freedom. How does it work? Well, in science of mind, we talk about spirit. And the spirit can be broad. The spirit can be God. The spirit can be our word. What comes through us. It's what we put out. And what we put out goes through the laws of the universe in order to create the third element Ernest Holmes talks about, and that's form. So spirit moves through the laws of the universe, or our word moves through the laws of the universe, and then it creates something. So you got to think about, what is it I want to create? To go back to the beginning, what are you putting out? Because the laws of the universe are going to be there. We are not free from the laws of the universe. But we can experience freedom when we recognize that the laws of the universe are there, and we can use the laws of the universe in order to obtain our special deployment with that understanding. Now, having said that 3-part formula that really Ernest Holmes put together of the whole idea of spirit or our word, this origination source going through the laws of the universe in order to create, we can find out some of the answers to the questions. How did we get here? How did we end up with hundreds of years of enslaving people? How did we end up? We have to start at the beginning. We have to start with our concept of God, our concept of spirit in this. Because we see what the form is. The form was slavery. So using science of mind principles, you backtrack. Slavery, that's the form, that's what we're experiencing. Somehow something passed through the laws of the universe to create slavery. How did it originate? Let's look at the spirit. Let's look at the word we put out. And this is where it's hard-hitting, and I really apologize for it, but I'm just not going to play around with this because it's such an important issue. Imagine if all the depictions of Jesus or of God for thousands of years were of a black person. What are the odds that black people would be enslaved by white people? I think it'd be a lot less. So we have to think, what is our concept of God? Is our concept of God too narrow? Does it exclude people? Does it exclude a color? Does it exclude a race? So let's start at the beginning with our concept of God. This matters because really when you think about it, you think about a society, and by the way, these are my viewpoints. You can disagree with them and say, Rabbi Allen, he's all wrong. I have this viewpoint. I say, bless you for having a different viewpoint. That's all great, but I'm here to share my viewpoints, and it's just one of many viewpoints. Okay, but generally, in my viewpoint, a civilization does not rise higher than what it thinks God is. And the reason why I believe in this is because what is God in most societies? God is like the top, it's like ideal perfection, the ruler, the head honcho, and so if this head honcho, our concept of God is really low and is not whole, is not complete, does not include men and women, does not include all races, is somehow specialized as some sort of white male, society's not going to rise above that. That white male will have privilege. Why? Because that white male's aligned with our concept of the very top of what that God is. So if God is one color, that color will be deemed to be supreme, even with the best intentions. So what can we do? Well, in Judaism and Islam, those two faiths, and Islam's the big one because, 1.5 billion people, they're not allowed to draw any picture of God or have any image of God. And that's actually pretty cool. Because if you have no image of God, then you can't go around saying, well, I was working the other day and I went by this person's room or their office and I saw a picture of God there, and that picture showed a white God, looked like an old guy, or a young guy, but and he was white. That's not going to happen in Islam. So it's no surprise that Prophet Muhammad, may peace be upon him, was really, really against racism, was not saying, one color is better than another color. That's no accident. So if we're going to depict God, and that's something we can do in our homework, think about it as we go through this year, depictions of God. What's in my office? What am I putting out? What do I think in my head when I think of God? Am I seeing the 10 Commandments? And our heroes. Am I seeing a white Moses? Really? 40 years in the desert and he came out white? Really? Do you really believe that? Was he untannable? What did he have? Like the most incredible, he had like sunscreen, 1,000,002 or something like that, all those years. And so then I got to knock my own faith. In the Jewish faith, we got many statues or pictures of Moses, and he's white. Okay, but the ones that really are probably more accurate would show him probably being more black. And none of these people really are white. The Buddha, Jesus, Moses, any of them really white? No. But yet our depictions are. So let's stop those projections because they are really harmful to where we really want to go. Why are they harmful? Because of science of mind. Because that's the spirit. That's the word we're putting out. And it's going to go through the laws of the universe, which are constant, and it's going to create that form. Want to change the form? We got to change what we're putting into the laws of the universe. And it's pretty clear from the Hebrew scriptures that God has no color preference. In fact, just the opposite. God got pretty PO'd in what you call the Old Testament when somebody, was even alluding to a color. Why? Because Moses married a woman, a Cushite woman, probably from Ethiopia, and probably pretty darn black, right? And then one day, Miriam and Aaron, Moses' brother, so his brother and sister are sort of mocking, the fact that she's a Cushite woman. And it's believed, mocking her color. Her color is not exactly, she's more black than everybody else here. As I said, God got really PO'd and said, okay, basically like this. And this is a paraphrase for sure. Well, Miriam, I think, you think it's bad to be black, so I'll tell you what, I'll make you really white. White as snow. In fact, the word white as snow, I think, is in there. And she gets leprosy, and her skin becomes really white. And Moses, is really sad about this. So he says, El na rafanala, God, please heal her now. She goes away for 7 days. She comes back, and she is healed. So that's probably the first human healing in the Hebrew Scriptures. But the point is, what was God really saying? Don't mock somebody because of the color of their skin. Don't do that. That POs me. Why? Because God is multicolored and actually no color. God is invisible. God is energy. God is love. God is all colors and no colors. God is all genders and no gender. Why? Because in the infinite world, there are many paradoxes that we cannot understand in the finite world. So today is Father's Day. Let's honor our earthly fathers, but let's not get that confused and think there's some sort of divine father, that this God is a father. Once again, we're sticking that father concept into the laws of the universe, and we're going to have to live with that outcome. And how did this problem develop? Well, part of how it developed, and I think as a rabbi I have a duty to clean this up a little bit, because the Hebrew Scriptures get used by non-Hebrew people who translate it into other languages like Greek or German. Greek and German, they have neutral genders in how they describe things. So everything's not a he or a she. It could be something neutral. Hebrew doesn't have that. So a table in Hebrew is masculine, shulchan. And a bow, like the bow and arrow, the bow is kashet, it's feminine. But really, did the Hebrews really think that the table was a male? No, they did not think that. So the name for God got assigned male pronouns because they had no choice. They could either use the male pronouns or the female pronouns. And it just so happens they did have really a third choice in interpretation, and that is it. Because the word for it is the same as the male and female words too. You could use it. But the point is, you then take this language, you stick it into another language without the understanding. You just lift the words, and you miss the inner meanings and what the people really thought that used the language. They didn't think the table was male, and neither is God. God is no more male than a table is. Okay, that's the point. Now, do we see this hint? It's not even a hint. It's maybe expressly in the Scripture in Genesis 1:27. Vayivra Elohim et Adam b'tzomo b'tzelem Elohim bara ota zachar Cheva bara otam. What did I just say? That's a good question. Okay, God created people in Elohim's image. By the way, Elohim's sort of a plural word. So in this, created people in God's image. But then the important thing follows. In that image, God created male and female. So if God is male, how did God create a male and female in God's image? That's right there at the beginning. Of course, the beginning stuff's all the important stuff, right? Yeah, we learned that in the O.J. Simpson trial. If it doesn't fit, you must acquit. Probably said very beginning to the jury. Well, that's how God is with the jury of us. Right at the very beginning says, okay, let me clean this up. I'm not a male, I'm not a female, I'm beyond that, but if you have to sign them, I'm basically, everything was created in my image, all people. So we talked a lot about the laws of the Spirit and our concept of God. We have to broaden that, and if we're going to display it, let's make sure it's inclusive, because it really does have an effect on society. Now, the laws of the universe, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on that, but that is the constant that we have to be aware of, because they are there and will never be free from that. And of course, the third element was form, the form. So we must think about what we speak, what we think, when we perform art, music, or when we work. Everything that we put out, there's a saying, the world tomorrow reflects everything that we put out en masse today. Now, I don't know if it compels or impels, but there is a relationship. So we got to think, what am I putting out today? Am I putting out my love for everything? And don't make any exclusions. I do it at my work, I do it in my art, my music, my lyrics, whatever. It all has an impact on our world. We want a world full of love. We've got to put out a lot of love. Want inclusivity? We've got to put out for a lot of inclusivity. So with that, I was going to try to make this talk a little shorter today than normal. So I want to go to this video of Louis Armstrong and think about these words, "Go down, Moses," and what it meant. It actually had some hidden meanings, like go down. Down could have been the Mississippi River. It could have been a clue. And it's believed in a lot of these quote-unquote slave songs that there were clues put in there. So they were not just singing, but they were communicating coded words so people would know how they could leave slavery to freedom. But they were also using the science of mind principles of programming the people in their beliefs, taking something that was said thousands of years before to create in their minds the whole idea that I'm not going to be stuck. I'm not going to be stuck in slavery. And that I believe that I am one of God's people and I deserve to live a life for my own deployment and not have to be a slave to somebody else. So with that, I see it's up on the screen, and the words will be shown. Unfortunately, it doesn't show Louis Armstrong singing it. I tried to find that, just couldn't, but we'll just have to do that in our minds. Imagine him singing that with the choir here. And so, Raj and Rob, if you want to go for it, let's go for it, and hope we can all hear it.
Go down, Moses, way down in Egypt land. Tell let my people go.
Now when Israel was in Egypt land,
Let my people go.
oppressed so hard they could not stand.
Let my people go.
So the Lord said, go down,
Go down,
Moses,
Moses,
way down in Egypt land. Tell old Pharaohs to let my people go.
let my people go.
So Moses went to Egypt land.
Let my people go.
He made old Pharaoh understand.
Let my people go.
Yes, the Lord said, go down,
Go down,
Moses,
Moses,
way down in Egypt land. Tell old Pharaohs to let my people go.
let my people go.
Thus spoke the Lord, bold Moses said,
Let my people go.
if not, I'll smite your firstborn dead. Lord said, go down.
Go down.
Moses, way down in Egypt land, tell old Pharaoh
To let my people go.
There you go. What do you think, huh? Deep. That was sung maybe over 150 years ago, you know? And so here you have a story, you know, scripture. It's the Spirit. And even though it was thousands of years old, it moved through the laws of the universe as people sang it and created a form, the end of slavery. It created Juneteenth thousands of years later. So imagine what we can put out today. And hopefully, God willing, it won't take so long for what we say to pass through the laws of the universe, because we still have slavery today. We still have second-class people in our country. Some people call them illegal immigrants. Some people have them other names. We got a lot of work to do to really treat all people as people in the image of the Holy One, that when we see them, when we look in their eyes, we see God. Because the eyes are the gateway to infinity, really. And our souls, look at their souls, are the gateways to infinity. They're holographs. So may we all do so. May we all do our homework this day, tomorrow, and every other day. And we will change the world for the better. Because, first of all, we believe it. We believe it. And it will be so. And so that's my science of mind treatment at the end of the talk, that we unite with the divine, the supreme force that's in everything and all around us. That we unite with it, and we know in this uniting that what we ask for can truly happen. And we do ask for a world of really real peace and harmony, where there is love of all people, and love of all sentient beings, and love of the planet itself. And we are grateful for the existence of this divine force and the laws of the universe that let it be so. And so we let it go, because we do this without worrying, without having to pull it back, and we say, and so it is. So, bless you all. May you all have a blessed day and blessed, long, happy, fulfilling lives. Thank you very much for letting me speak today. It was an honor. Thank you.
I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I
It's now time for our spiritual practice of conscious giving. We do this mindfully, celebrating our abundant blessings that come to us as the infinite flow of life itself. With deep gratitude, we participate in the circulation of giving and receiving, joyfully sharing our prosperity with our beloved spiritual community. For those of you able to contribute, know that we deeply appreciate your financial support. You may continue to give via automatic withdrawal, text to give, or simply donate through our website at spirituallyfree.org. I now invite those of you here and at home to bring your gift to mind and heart. Deeply feel the truth of your word as together we speak aloud our giving affirmation. Divine love, as me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Filled with gratitude, I let this be, and so it is.
All that I need comes to me. All that I need comes to me. The light of love and grace shines upon my face. All that I need comes to me. I've been set free, I'm released. I've been set free, I'm released. The burden of my past has gone away at last. I've been set free, I'm released. All that I need comes to me.
All that I need.
All that I need comes to me. The light of love and grace shines upon my face. All that I need comes to me. All that I need comes to me.
Thank you. Let's invite Alan Bachman, Andalyn Bachman, Desert Wind, for some more special music.
Religious Jews pray 3 times a day, generally every day, except on the Sabbath, the Shabbat, where they pray 4 times a day, and on Yom Kippur 5 times a day. Every one of these services, pretty much, almost everyone ends with a special line. Litakein olam b'malchut shaddai. Very important line. This is the homework section. Litakein, to heal olam, the world, the universe, to heal the universe. That's our mission, is to heal this universe. The universe is broken, but we're not victims. We are the solution. We are the healers. To heal the universe, Litakein olam, b'malchut shaddai, with the power of the Holy One. That's why we're here. If there was no divine force running through everything, I guess you'd spend your Sunday, who knows what you're doing. I'm not sure what you could do, because even if you were doing your garden, you'd probably see God there. So these are very powerful words, so we put them into a song. And of course, we use this rhythm from the Middle East, heart of the world. And that's why we have Raj, Brian, and Ricardo here, because they're our rhythm section, so to speak. And if you can say it, you can play it. Doom, doom, tick, tick, doom, tick, 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 doom, tick.
Let the kid to heal the world.
And as Ernest Holmes
Desert
says,
Wind.
can we heal the world? Ernest Holmes says, you know, we are connected with a power that created the entire universe. How much more power do you need than that to be connected to? So we are going to connect with that highest power, and we are going to heal this world.
Yeah.
And so it is.
And so it is. Thank you, Desert Wind. Thank you, Rabbi Allen. Wonderful message. I was thinking as this idea of freedom, if we attune ourselves to the laws of the universe, then we are actually experiencing more freedom. So that is the ideal. we can all feel and experience more love, more peace, more of the essence of the divine. And the more we feel and intend and experience those things, the more freedom we experience as well. Wonderful message. And yeah, I feel the homework thing. That's a good idea. What a blessed day. Let's stand together and sing this wonderful song. This is so close to what Rabbi Allen just affirmed. This song, Together We Can Change the World. Whoops. Let's do it in the right key.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I believe it's not too late. Together we can change the world. Lay the puzzle pieces out. Find out what it's all about. Together we can change the world. I could start this by myself, but I'm asking for your help. Together we can change the world. Sailing past where it's been charted. Roll your sleeves up, let's get started. Together we can change the world. Together we can change the world. With our hands and with our hearts, we can dare to make a start. Together we can change the world. What if we spoke with one voice, knowing that we have a choice? Together we can change the world. I can start this by myself, but I'm asking for your help. Together we can change the world. Sailing past where it's been charted. Roll your sleeves up, let's get started. Together we can change the world. Together we can change the world. Change your mind and change your life. Set aside the fear and strife. Together we can change the world. When we open up our eyes, then we start to realize. Together we can change the world. I can start this by myself, but I'm asking for your help. Together